Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Twist Gaming. We are here live at Gen Con 2018 in Indianapolis, Indiana, bringing you all of the great live coverage from the convention. I am here now with this person who is completely
I'm
different.
back with a costume change. So I'm Jesse with Days of Wonder right now, and we've got
Adrian. I have no costume, but I'm just
no
Adrian.
no costume. Adrian also
Customized.
with Days of Wonder. So how are you tonight?
I'm
Good?
doing well.
Yeah, you having a fun Gen Con?
I am.
Yeah, lots of good coverage?
Yes, lots of good
Awesome.
coverage. I've had lots of people bring me a lot of really cool games.
Okay, beautiful.
Your game is no exception.
Thank you so much. So we have got Ticket to Ride New York.
Yes, I'm gonna switch right over,
Yeah.
but I need board cam magic.
You need
So
board- okay,
yeah,
ready?
Ready?
Oh, how did you do that?
Nice, amazing.
That's okay. Wow.
American technology. Yeah, wow.
We had the really great opportunity of doing a spotlight of this game a couple of weeks ago. It's tons of fun.
Yes, we loved that.
It
Very,
was-
very good.
So cool. For our viewers who may not have seen that spotlight just yet, what is Ticket to Ride New York?
So Ticket to Ride New York is we've got a nice brochure of tourist map of the city here. That's going to be your little rule book here, and I'll do the box shot as well. Ticket to Ride New York. Look at that art.
The fonts.
Isn't it cool?
It is fantastic.
Yeah. So Ticket to Ride New York is Ticket to Ride, you know it, you love it, everybody loves it, condensed down into a compact version. So this is the box that it comes in, and this is the board. Everything you see out came in that box, that little box.
Yeah.
So this is a compact version of Ticket to Ride that features taxi cabs instead of trains, because what's more iconic than a yellow taxi cab?
Absolutely.
And so what this is a quick condensed version of Ticket to Ride that is honestly going to play in, you're going to finish a game in probably 15 minutes. We've finished sometimes 8-9 minutes. So it's your quick game that, it satisfies the itch of gaming, and it also is a great introduction to the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in Ticket to Ride,
Yeah.
we are laying down train lines
Yes.
across the country.
Yes.
So we're completing these routes that we get.
Yeah.
We're drawing cards. We have our own secret routes. Our opponents don't know
Yep.
what's going on. So that's kind of like the spirit of the game. So what
Yeah.
you guys really, I feel like, have done is you've taken that spirit and condensed it. So instead of laying down these very long train tracks across a map of, the United States is the original one. You've got the very small piece of Lower Manhattan,
Yeah.
and we've got very small roads. So where train lines may give it 4 or 5 trains, maybe
even
more.
6, yeah.
Up to 6, 7, yeah.
Most of these taxi cab lines are 1, 2, 3. I think, what was it? 3 was the longest.
Yeah,
Four.
there's
4.
1-4.
Four.
Everybody's goes for. So, so it's like that's like simulating cutthroat turns and twists in New York City in a cab. So this one here is actually, I've found that this is very, very tight and competitive, and so it scratches that itch too. Like, it's fun
Right.
and easy, but it's also has that element to it. So same spirit as Ticket to Ride. So you're gonna have here, we've got a little cool board of transportation, if you want to show
Yeah.
that up on camera, and then you can flip that over, and that is going to be your secret destinations. So same exact, and these are big points. So some
Yeah.
of them are like 8,
Yes.
6, 8 points. So if you can't manage that, and you don't have a lot of time, like I said.
Right.
So that's the fun part of this game. And then, so you have these secret objectives that you're going for here. And the basis is, for those of you who don't know Ticket to Ride, is there are these cards that you can get, and you accumulate, and they correspond with the spaces on the board. So in order to lay down, say I'm yellow, in order to lay down a taxi cab here, this route, I have to have 2 orange cards in my hand.
Right.
And so I'm going to play those 2 orange cards, get rid of them, and then put 2 taxi cabs on the board like so.
2 real
And these
taxis.
are also brand new colors to Ticket to Ride, right?
Yeah, it's the first time we do pieces that does not match, the color of the route. Usually in Ticket to Ride, you have 8 color plus a gray on the board,
Mm-hmm.
and you have like 5 playing color, and usually just those are primary color because it's the one that people can differentiate the most. You know,
Yeah.
the most obvious. You have yellow, red, green, black, and blue. If I'm correct, and the funny stuff is that when we have press people, you know, that take picture of the game to put like on a newspaper or so, they just do a quick setup of the game and they put like all the yellow train on the yellow spaces.
That's it.
So that we could
Exactly.
like, what?
That's yeah.
So this time we say not the same color that on the board. So that's why this color are a bit different.
yeah.
you know?
So that's why we did a little differentiating here. So
I
that,
didn't realize
you know,
that was why. I mean, we definitely talked about the colors, and the color choices are nice. Like I know they're
Yeah.
not the primary colors, but they're like a nice shade of purple.
that's
It's
see-through.
a nice.
All right.
It's the new transparent version.
Wow, that's
It
the
is-
ghost version.
It is a nice blue color.
Yeah, I like the blue, greenish.
Yeah,
bluish
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, and it's not like super highlighter yellow.
No.
It's a nice. That one's also see-through. It's
That's
a
a
nice, kind of a nice toned down color of yellow. So it's not they're not in your face color choices.
Yeah.
That were made. And what I thought too was really cool was how you guys took the theme
Mm-hmm.
from the train cars. We talked about the cars in your hand and brought those to New York City.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of the iconic. This is 1960s kind of
Yeah.
New York, so we have a lot of the iconic modes of transportation. So instead of the yellow train cars, now we have the school buses. We've got the double-decker tour buses for the pink. I think there's the. That is the subway or the train car? It's a train car.
Yeah.
it's a
subway.
it's a
train
subway.
Subway
car.
is the
train
blue
car.
one.
Yep.
I think I'm missing one
Nope, I'm
more
missing red.
card
This is the
color.
green, which is, yeah.
Yes,
And
which
the-
this is gonna green screen tear. That's those are. Here's our trolley car on the red, and then my
then
little
the
green
see-through.
screen. My green
Yeah,
screen.
the story
bus.
of that is that, you know, most of the Ticket Ride game are based, you know, like in 1900, 1910, kind of this period. So when we're initially thinking about the New York version, we say, oh, if we do New York 900,
Yeah.
and we want that as a tourist map because we can have more iconic, you know, place. But 1900, there was like no Empire State Building, no,
Yeah.
you know, all this kind of place in New York.
Be
So we
nothing
say,
iconic
We need
to
to
do.
go another time, you know.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we say what time period is interesting, and then it's getting complex, right? Because there's also, do we want to have the twin towers on the board or not?
Oh, I didn't
Right.
even consider
So
that
like
you would have
the
to consider
70s were
that.
a bit too late.
Yeah,
Right.
70s
You
were a bit too
know,
late. Yeah.
so 60s. Oh, then 60s maybe it's good because they were not built. You know, there's like 74. So we have to find the right, you know, period of time to say that's nice because we have enough building built, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Lincoln Center, this one in the first map was basically Columbus Circle initially. So it was on the prototype closer to Central Park.
Yeah.
But then we did the final layout, and then Lincoln Center was a better spot. But if you go 1950, I think Lincoln Center does not exist. So you have to adjust. I mean, it's not like a accurate historic map,
Right.
but somehow you try to adjust the better you can to
And it looks like
reality.
even though if it's not completely a historic and accurate map, you've put a lot of attention and thought into which time period and which map to use to best suit
Yeah.
the needs of the board. The one last card that I did want to show for the trains
Yeah.
was just the wild card here, which is green screen's a little makes
Yeah,
me
you
so
know, that's
sad.
okay.
But is our iconic taxi.
Yeah, and that, like, we were so happy with the art, like, all around, everything, you know, from the little backs of the cards to the little details on the board that really showcase that time period and get it thematic in this compact little version, you know.
Right.
And, like, even the rule book, like I showed in the beginning, is like a tourist map of
Right.
New York City, you know, and you do this, and you swoop it over, and, you know, you've got everything else here. So yeah, it's one of those games that you can play with anyone. Like, my parents visited 2 weeks ago, and they were like, "Oh, you work in board games? Let's play one." And they'd never played, you know, anything, and they played this, and I taught them in 3 minutes.
It's a
Yeah.
fantastic gateway
Yeah.
game. And now we've talked a little bit about the iconic locations on the map,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but we didn't talk about the significance of those iconic locations.
Yes. So that is also something new with Ticket to Ride New York, is these little bonus points on the board. So if you connect, you score the points on your on your secret destinations, but if you are able to connect these where every time there's a 1, you can score those points as well. So even if if it's towards the end of the game and you've completed both of your secret objectives,
Right.
you can still go for points, and you can I've had people rack up 8-9 points. So it's just an added extra piece in this already great game.
I think that one of the things I enjoyed most about playing the game, and we can head over to the score sheet for the component.
Yeah, this is...
One, it made everything really easy to score, but that there are multiple ways to win in this game.
Yeah.
It's no longer about, hey, who can make the longest train route. Now it's, okay, yeah, you're going to get points for how many taxis you lay down. You're going to get points for how many routes you lay down. But with the location points, I think that if I did not win a round that way, it bumped me from last place to second place just based off of hitting those location points.
And that's where it gets intense, because like right here, there's one route. You know? And with 4 players, it's prime real estate.
Absolutely.
Going from Empire State Building.
4 players actually feel like New York, right?
Yeah.
It's so busy.
It's
the
like
street,
you're
you go
crowded,
like,
crammed.
No, you want to go down.
Yeah.
Now you just need a horn.
Yeah.
Beep, beep,
Screaming.
beep, beep.
Small game gimmick.
Yeah, so this is like the perfect game. Like I've had, we've worked with a lot of different reviewers, ranging from mommy bloggers to who game with their young kids, who absolutely love it and are like, this is perfect for my 7 or 8 year old. And it's still. It's one of those games that's perfect for that age, but also engages mom and dad too, and but then it's also great for people who longtime veterans to games, because it's something quick that is also
strategic.
Yes,
makes you
yes,
think. You
yes.
have to figure out, how am I going to get the most points? How am I going to block my opponents?
Yeah, I like the fact it's so fast that
Yeah.
you're getting home after work,
Yeah.
and it's like 20 minutes to dinner,
Yep,
you want to play a game, game. Oh, take it to New York.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you play, 15 minutes and it's done, and you feel you play like an actual game, like not like just a party game where it's just like throw cards and turn the table. It's actually a strategy, tactic involved.
Yep.
It's got the length of the time of a filler game without that, with being more having more depth.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we love it. So it is actually on. We have a limited number of copies left at Gen Con for sale.
Okay.
Yeah, so swing by if you're coming. If you're at Gen Con, the Game Center is booth 1629.
Okay.
And we have a limited number, and that stack is going down. People are loving it.
That's
so,
exciting.
And we're demoing it all weekend, all con, so the rest of today and tomorrow at Days of Wonder booth.
Okay.
And so that is going to be booth 1619. So right across from the Game Center where you can pick it up. And the tables have been hot. It's a really fun game. We're super excited about it, and you also can get it at Target.
Yes.
So it is a Target exclusive. And the price point's great, $19.99. So it's really it's all around well-rounded game. We're just super excited about it.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Anything else coming down the pipeline from Days of Wonder?
So I did want to talk about that. So we also have a Essen preview game.
Ooh.
So it is called The River.
Okay.
And The River is a worker placement game where you are pioneers settling a new country, and you are going down, and it's worker placement and tile placement all in one.
Okay.
So it's really smooth, and it's the theme is really great. And we have turkey meeples.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever seen those before.
Turple.
Turples. We got to work on that.
Yeah.
You have what?
Turkey meeples.
like
Like the
gobble
small-
Like
gobble.
gobble
Thanksgiving
turkey,
Day.
Gobble gobble turkey meeples.
Why in a river?
So it's symbolizing pioneers coming to a new land, and there are resources like brick and stone and wood, but there's also
the
food.
way you put your tiles.
Yes.
So you put your tile on your riverboard in a way you follow the river sequence. So it's
Yes.
like an S like this,
Okay.
And it's very important in the gameplay that you do that order, right? So it's like
Yes.
along the river.
So there's different types of lands, and at the end of the game, if you have lands like for instance like mountains, if you
or
have
badlands.
3 mountains lined up on your board, you get bonus points. You rack up really nice bonus points. But the worker placement element in it is very interesting as well, because you start off, all of your guys are on a little boat, and they sit on an actual boat, like on the side, like a cardboard boat, and it's really cute. And you have a certain amount to start with, but as you're settling the land, this is the interesting part, is the workers retire, and so they go away.
Really?
So instead of gaining more, you can gain an extra one, but they do retire. So it's really strategic and fun, and it's one of those like it's really you play it and you're like, oh no.
So when you're talking about the workers retiring, does that mean that I have a finite number of workers, and as the game progresses, I'm going to have less?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's an interesting mechanic because most worker placements are the
You're
opposite.
gaining more.
You're
Yeah,
gaining
as
more.
you go on.
Yeah.
But some action you do getting more powerful.
Yeah.
Because as your river are more tile, maybe
Yeah.
producing stone would be more powerful because you produce more.
Yeah.
So
As
like
you're
less worker but more resources from the central
Yeah.
board.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's got all of these different things going for it at once, but it's just a really nice. It's beautiful
It's like
too.
place one meeple, do
Yeah.
get the action.
Yeah, yeah.
Place one, do
Yeah,
one action.
it's
So
simple. It's simple and fun, but it's also one of those that's also complex too. So it's right up our alley. Days of Wonder, is the games for everybody, and we're trying to implement everybody and make sure that there's strategy and greatness and everything. So that is our Essen sneak peek for Days of Wonder booth.
Okay.
So we've got 2 tables of that running.
Now I have to ask.
Yes.
Because with Space Cowboys, you guys are going to be able
Yes.
to do a worldwide release for the
Yes.
Essen. Are we doing the same thing here with Days of Wonder?
finger crossed.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's what we try to do. We try to achieve. So it's either like worldwide release at Essen or maybe like
a few weeks
a
later.
few weeks later.
Yeah.
Okay.
It won't be like a big gap in,
No.
but yeah.
Very cool. So where do I go to find out more, or to find out whether it is indeed going to be worldwide release on the same day?
We'll have like a formal public announcement later in August,
Yep.
when everything is ready. So that's really a sneak peek, preview now. But late August we'll know more and be able to communicate, say that's the target release date.
Yeah, this is a super sneak peek. Adrian actually packed the back boxes himself and
I did the prototype.
brought them in, and he made the prototypes. So they're there at the booth. So
Can you show me how you made that prototype again?
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's skill right there.
Yeah.
It is. It's his finest work. So that one is. We have 2 tables of that running, and that has been people have been like, because that was so with Space Cowboys, that release was well known, like that was announced. But this one we wanted to see, and people have been like, what's this?
What's this
Oh
other
my
thing?
gosh. And then they sit down and play. They're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So
Oh, that's
So yeah.
cool.
So we're pumped about that, and so if you're not going to make it to Essen, it will be within, the next few weeks after. Yeah, but if you're at Gen Con, you got to try it because you got to make your friends who aren't here jealous, because it's really going to be, it's really, really a good one.
I
Yeah.
played it before you.
Yeah, exactly. And in gaming, that's what we do.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time
Yeah,
to
thank
hang out
you.
with me today.
Yeah, absolutely.
For giving us a little bit more insight into
Yeah.
that little Essen sneak
That's
peek.
some secret info. So if you're watching,
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell. Yeah.
Secret.
But if you're at Gen Con, stop by, play a Ticket to Ride, pick up a copy to take home, and come see us. Come say hi. I'll be running around like crazy. Come say hi if you're here.
Which shirt are you going to be in?
It's one of 3 probably.
Alright.
One of 3 or 4. So it all depends. So,
Sounds good. Jesse,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you so
again.
much. It's been lovely.
Adrian, pleasure.
You guys are great. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you. You
Okay.
guys are awesome too. So
Thank
and happy gaming.
Thank you.
Everybody, happy
Yeah.
gaming always. Right.
Stay
Right.
tuned for some more live Gen Con coverage.